Good afternoon. I'm going to give you all a little update on where we are with the exterior enhancement grant. So this was one of the first grants. This is the first grant that y'all have allocated funds for. So we had 42 total responses. The review committee evaluated 24 projects, and out of that, as I've been working through the various businesses, we have 15 projects that are eligible. TIRZ has allocated $100,000, and so far we have reimbursed $7,650.09. Oh, that was an old one. Sorry.
Okay, Kelly, can we go back to the recipients?
This recipient, I don't have control of it anymore. I guess I didn't.
There you go.
There we go. Just wanted you guys to be able to take a look at that and
So some of these recipients, sorry, I thought I had deleted this slide. Some of these recipients, just as we went through the process, there were things that became ineligible, or they had already started the project. Those types of things.
okay, so not up to date.
Yes, I can get y'all an up-to-date of the 15 projects. Yes.
That'd be great.
That was my fault. I thought I had deleted that slide. And so, does anyone have any other questions regarding that one?
And I had looked it up. Review the timeline they have. I know it's a year from.
So they have 90 days
90.
to start the project. So far that there were a couple of applicants that had just told me it was a larger project, and so they're still working on a few things. So I reported that into my documents just to say that they're aware, they're moving forward, but they have 1 year to technically complete and to ask for the reimbursement. So for many of these, it's not until March or even May of next year, because we had 2 separate rounds of allocations.
Okay. Any other questions on this for Kelly?
I just have, teach me something.
Yes, sir.
If, in order to be reimbursed, the project has to be completed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
So we have $7,900 worth of projects that are complete now, and we're working our way up.
Some of those projects, they originally went in saying, oh, I think it will be X amount, and requesting the full 5,000. And then whenever we received the request or the actual reimbursement, so far some of them have come in lower than that. So we're seeing a little bit of savings. So there will potentially be some, a balance that would just sit in that exterior enhancement grant. So then potentially for next fiscal year, you can then reassess and say, oh, we have a pretty decent balance. We don't need to add more. We can just open up the application process again, and then use those funds that are in there already.
Okay.
And we can assess that in October.
Are there still some applications that could be turned into, that were told no, but now with people dropping out, they could come in?
At this time, we have looked at all the applications, and there are no other applications that would be eligible at this time. So anyone who is eligible in a viable business has been offered the grant. I know that there are some businesses that are just waiting because their cash flow isn't allowing for it right now. So I said, okay, that you have up to a year to do this. So if your cash flow changes at some point in time, because a lot of these businesses are seasonal or cyclical in some way. So if something changes, like after the summer or something, and if they're able to then have enough cash flow, because that has been a little bit of an issue for just a few of the businesses, fronting that money and just reconsidering how much of the project they were thinking about doing, just realizing that it was a reimbursement grant and that they wouldn't be receiving any of the funding up front.
So with all the applications we have now, it's gonna be impossible to use up the 100,000, right?
We will probably not use up the whole 100,000, but like I said, that would just sit in your balance for right now, and then that could move forward for fiscal year '27.
I would personally like to see the $100,000 spent internally in the city. And is there a way that we could open up, another set of applications to, to have this happen sooner than later?
I think if we kind of look through the list and let some of the applications kind of settle out and see where some of those reimbursements actually land, if they do hit that $5,000 mark, or some of them are coming back and we'll only be reimbursing like 1,500. So I think that it's a little too early to tell how much extra funding we would have to be able to open up the application process at this time.
Does the law allow advanced payments?
No, sir.
Does not. It's,
Well, the law may allow for it, but the city of Kerrville's financial policies don't allow for
so
it.
it has to be, they have to have enough money to pay for the project before they can be reimbursed.
It's a protection against, there's too many fraud implications that we have to go through, and we don't want to do that. Because if we do for one, we have to do for all. And there's an outlay of $100,000. And you can have all the recourses in the world to get the reimbursement back, but it's a very challenging thing to get.
Sure.
Get it back from a large corporation, let alone a small business that doesn't have the resources.
So,
So it's a
in
performance.
order to qualify for a repayment, if they don't have excess cash on hand, they have to go to a lender, arrange a loan, and then complete the project, and then pay their loan back. Is that a normal track for
That's one way. That can
how
be
it
done.
would have to be done?
To get half of it paid for by the government, that's, yeah.
We'd work harder.
We don't front, we won't do it. We don't do it for anybody.
Okay, but
If they want, the mechanism by which they would get the money to do that, I mean, it's commercial lending. It's, these are small businesses in many cases, right? So I understand the plight of it, but
yeah, I'm just trying to come up with a way to help people get started, and perhaps at this point the reason that only $7,600 has been reimbursed is because that startup cash necessary to complete the project is holding folks back.
I would say realistically, probably only 2 of the businesses have said that that out of those 24 have said that they were going to potentially wait. Um, there are 2 that have larger projects that they're working on that are a couple $100,000, and so they haven't gotten to that exterior enhancement portion yet of what they're working on. And so I told them once they get to that point to just send me all the receipts at once instead of like one receipt at a time, for us to reimburse, and then also just protection against fraud and stuff. And so because there have been a couple of bad actors in their application.
So it sounds like it's not as big a problem as I thought it might be.
No, probably not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
just there's
encouraging.
varying circumstances of why there's only been we're
Okay.
only at 7,000 at this
That's
point.
good news.
Okay, anybody else? Other question? All right, so we will just watch that as it unfolds. Okay, all right, thank you. And then 3B, Kelly.
To give y'all an update of the Culture and Arts District Advisory Board, they were awarded a $4,000 matching grant that was matched by the Community Foundation. So they have a total of $8,000 right now for marketing and promotion of the new cultural district. We're working with Madden, which is a PR company that the CVB uses. And we will have a website that will be linked to the Community Arts Program website with our own button. and we are also working on some social media targeted ads to bring people to the district to highlight that we do have a new district, all the different art and culture activities that we have in the downtown area. The Spark Smithsonian exhibit that will be here starting this weekend for the next, I can't remember how long, 12 weeks maybe. And then also the opening of the new HHHC. So we're excited to be able to highlight that. This money, since the CVB's HOP funds are for promoting outside of a 50-mile radius, we will be promoting within that 50-mile radius to encourage locals to come downtown, because I'm sure we've all heard Kerrville has nothing to do, and that is not true. There is plenty to do and lots of activities downtown, so we're going to highlight all of those. And the next round of grants will be for a cultural arts project. The advisory board has selected a sculpture project art element to go in the downtown area that will have a wayfinding kiosk, kind of like the kiosk that you might see outside the CVB, where you can look and see where dining, shopping, different entertainment is happening, and it will have an art element to it. So that request to the TCA will be not to exceed $31,000. So we will need, it's a one-to-one matching. So if they do receive that grant, they may be coming back and asking if the TIRZ might be interested in being that matching component. So just something for y'all to keep in mind. And that is it for the
Okay.
cultural district.
With this, Kelly, when it's, you said the website, is it a TIRZ website that's linked to CVB? It's not the city.
No, this is specifically for the Arts and Culture District, which is within the TIRZ.
Okay.
Yes. The Texas Commission on the Arts once requires for the cultural district to be able to promote themselves in some way, and so being able to link people to a website to be able to highlight what those amenities are, whatever those arts and cultural amenities are. So we are creating that website through the CVB website, because their website has already has that look and feel for arts and components through the CAP program, the Community Arts Program.
Okay. Anybody else have a question on that particularly?
The targeted ads, can you repeat again? I'm sorry if I missed it. Who's doing that? Is it a firm?
Madden is the
Oh,
firm. So
okay.
that's the firm that the CVB is already in contract with. So naturally, it just made sense. They already had content and copy and stuff like that.
But this element is new to that whole equation, right? Like we haven't marketed specifically with the arts and cultural district in mind, targeted ads on Meta, right?
They have done those types of ads, but outside of the 50-mile radius, this is inside that 50-mile radius. I believe that they created it, and it's called the Hill Country Muse. And we looked at the demographics that we have. I sent them we had just received back from a retail coach what our retail target area was. And so they based it off of who was already coming in to shop here. And so if those people are already coming into town, encouraging them not to just go to Walmart or H-E-B, but come and experience what town has to offer too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any way can we like see those ads?
Yes, whenever we have those, we're signing the contract this week. And so they're already working specifically on like the Spark ads, because that starts this weekend. And we wanted to make sure that we really gave that the time, effort, and energy that deserves, because it's a huge deal that we have the Smithsonian coming here and we're their first stop.
Yeah, I would just love to just lay eyes on that.
Yeah.
And just see.
Well, hopefully you also see it in some of your own social media, because you are in the demographic of the Hill Country Muse, Andrew. And so, yeah, so you might actually naturally see those too, but we can definitely share those with y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, other questions? Okay, I've got another one. On the art project
Yes, ma'am.
with this kiosk,
Mhm.
where will, it'll be downtown?
It will be, the location hasn't been selected at this time. There will need to be, the, uh, the board has, we discussed about 6 different locations. So once we know for sure if we are going to receive this grant, then we'll kind of hone in a little bit more on where the best location might be. A power source was, a power source, how visible it is, because there will be an art component to it, because given that it's an arts and cultural district, it's more about the piece of art that it is. And then there just happens to be the wayfinding element to it. And so if we do receive the grant funding, then Catherine Boyette will be the lead on doing a call out to local artists for that.
So is it anticipated it would be somewhere downtown?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Mhm.
okay, okay.
Yes, it will need to be located within the cultural district. So it will be somewhere between Clay and Washington and the river and Barnett. And that's kind of generally what the district's boundaries are.
Has that sculpture been?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Oh, not yet, so
Mhm.
we're very premature.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. But if they needed more than 31,000, then they might come to us for,
No, 31,000 would actually, I think it was technically, I think even with a little bit of contingency, we came up with a little over $28,000 for the art component, the kiosk, the programming, the shipping, all of those things. And so we will need to come up with half of that. So we're talking $15,500. So there is the potential of them coming to TIRZ or to EIC and asking if they can front that portion.
okay.
So that raises a question.
Yes, sir.
When you say this is within the TIRZ, do you mean geographically or organizationally?
Geographically.
Gotcha. And as such, if the TIRZ paid for it,
Mhm.
it would have to be placed geographically within the TIRZ.
Yes, and then within the TIRZ, it would then geographically have to be within the cultural district, which would be the downtown core at this time.
And there's no part of the cultural district that is outside the TIRZ one.
Correct.
Okay, I get it now. We're talking geographically.
And I'm curious, has there been conversation about the idea of putting it on the corner of 16 and Water Street next to the parking garage where it kind of
That
makes
was
the
one of the locations
was
that we did discuss.
total sense to put it where people would stop, scratch their head, wait for the light to change?
Yes, yeah, that was one of the locations.
But, okay.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right. Okay, thank you, Kelly. Then,
Don't worry, I'm still here.
okay, then, so we're looking at 4A then.
So 4A, this is the parking lot enhancement grant program. From the exterior enhancement grant in our original round 1 of funding, we noticed whenever we originally only had $50,000 to allocate, the review committee noticed that but there was about $30,000 in just parking lot enhancement requests. So we kind of set those aside and said, okay, let's get through the exterior enhancement and then we'll go back and see. And whenever I brought that up to this board a couple of meetings ago, it was suggested that we look into what it would look like to do a parking lot enhancement grant. So this would be designated funds to encourage improvements in parking areas within TIRZ number 1 that serve commercial, retail, and other businesses and properties open to the public. So just working your way through how the parking lot enhancement grant program lays out the purpose and the policy. And B, we talk about the improvement, functionality, safety, and visual appearances of parking facilities. C brings up that it would be up to the $5,000 reimbursable matching grant. D points out the consideration is based on a case-by-case basis and a formal agreement is required. Then the parking, the actual program requirements, once again, located within TIRZ number 1. Proof of property ownership, construction starting within 90 days of the approval, and then a list of what would be approved. Lot resurfacing and reconstruction, asphalt and concrete repair, restriping, ADA compliance, parking lot lighting improvements, and those parking lot improvements would have to comply with, as all of this does, any of the city codes. That one specifically would have to be in compliance with the city's dark skies code enforcement. Drainage improvements related to parking areas, installing wheel stops, curbing or traffic control elements, and then pedestrian walkways connecting parking areas to buildings. Any questions about those approved improvements?
Anybody have anything there? Okay.
Okay. And then once again, it will be an online application, the same process of which was used for the exterior enhancement grant. And then the same requirements will be needed by the applicants. So we will need to know who the applicant is, what the property is that they wish to have the enhancement on. If that business doesn't own that piece of property or their own parking lot, whomever owns that parking lot would have to at least give them the approval to do these enhancements. Photos of what it currently looks like, and then an itemized estimate or illustration of the enhancements. With the approval of this, this grant, ideally it would open in early June or sometime in June, and the applications would be open for about 90 days. Then we would have a grant review committee to review the parking lot enhancement grant applications. And our request is $50,000. That came out as a suggestion from the TIRZ committee, or we can look at where we might be with some of the extra funding that will be available within the exterior enhancement grant. Yes, sir.
I'm confused. Didn't we already approve $50,000 for parking?
No, this is the time of which it was just a suggestion to have, yes, and to put $50,000
So
to
we
it.
did 50,000 more for the project.
Exterior enhancement, yes.
Did 100,000 for the matching and this was just a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not on the agenda, it doesn't formally exist. So you gotta bring it back and formally approve it all.
There you go. That makes sense to me now.
So from the exterior enhancement grant, these were three examples of parking lots. So we have on the left-hand side that is El Sol de Mexico. redoing theirs. They did not receive exterior enhancement. He had already painted what he needed to before we were able to get through the second funding round for exterior enhancement. At the bottom, that is Stevens Wealth Management. He was approved for $5,000 from the exterior enhancement, so he would probably not be eligible for this, but he did already receive some funding for exterior enhancement. And then on the right-hand side, that's the Wilson's parking lot. So they had only asked about the parking lot and not anything for their building. So El Sol de Mexico and Wilson's would potentially be two that had already applied to exterior enhancement, specifically asking about their parking lot that could be eligible for the parking lot enhancement.
But we didn't give any parking lot in the first ones.
Correct. If anyone had asked for funding for their parking lot, the other one was Rails. And so they have been awarded to fix up their buildings, but we specifically put into the contract that it was not for parking lot enhancement.
How
Comments,
far will
questions?
5,000 go for parking? I know that's a crazy question, but
I think Mr. Orms might be able to answer that
So-
question the best right
I was
now.
just thinking the same thing.
I mean, is it enough to make a difference?
It's a good incentivizer. You know,
Well,
if you're
and
gonna
that's
do it,
true,
and,
yes, yes.
You know, it's, everything would help.
I guess it'd be 10,000
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
As for some of the smaller lots, you could probably do a lot with that.
Mr. Hornis, you have anything to, you look like you have something to say.
Well, I guess two things you don't know until you know. So we could debate that topic all day. It depends on any number of factors inside each person's property, right? How big it is. But yeah, I mean, $5,000 might be, I mean, you're acting as the last mile in some of these things. They've thought about projects that they want to do, and it's $10,000, and how could I possibly outlay $10,000 on a small business? And hey, here's half of that paid for, and I think it helps them let loose that 5,000 to get that done. So, asphalt's not as bad right now as everything else, which is weird because it has oil products in it, and we're seeing that come back in our bids that weren't affected in the craziest of ways lately. So, if you got a big, massive park, if it's that parking lot behind Sue's place, that whole thing, that's probably more than a $10,000 job, right? But that's a big parking lot, right? If it was the entire parking lot for Mr. Orm's facility, that might be more than a $10,000 job, you know. But you don't know until you know, right? Most of the businesses downtown aren't going to have as big of a parking lot as you know, somebody outside of that zone. I think it'll do a lot of good. Yeah. And if you find out, I mean, the question is, I mean, if the market's going to tell us, they come back and they say these are $30,000 or something like that, then you'll know. But until that time, I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. I'd love it for next year, though, if you all would just have one grant, not two. We can do that in budget season next year. You can just include the parking lots as an option.
And when will we be submitting our budget?
Y'all's budget is, we'll talk about it in August, but it's not we'll talk about it. Yeah, I think we'll talk about it in August. That's when Julie's got it slated for y'all to talk about it. August? It is, right, yeah.
Can you go back to the slide that shows what each of the elements, there you go, right there. Improvements,
And I think that's in.
striping and pavement markings,
and
that's it.
it's in the packet.
Yeah.
Page 2 of 3, under the the last half of the grant, there's 3 pages back there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's listed there, or they are listed there.
Oh.
You see them?
Yeah,
Page,
Page 2 at the top, or
Yeah.
out in the middle,
yeah, the
Page
1
2.
through 8.
program requirements. Go further back,
Here we
I
go.
think.
this is definitions. This
No,
is the
with-
parking lot.
it's
This is
further,
the-
it's further back.
Okay,
Keep going,
governing law.
keep going, keep going.
There you go. What does it say at the top?
Here, you need to go further. See that almost
thank
blank page that your fingers are under? It's behind that.
Yeah, the
This-
attachment you're probably looking at right now is the actual contract, because that was an exhibit.
Yeah, that's, yeah, parking lot grant agreement.
Yes, and then in front of that
Oh.
should be, a couple of pages in front of that should
Oh,
be
that
the
one-
grant
There you go.
program.
Oh, that wasn't, oh, it wasn't emailed out.
No, it should have been. It should have been the same,
Oh, well,
Go back, now behind that.
exhibit A,
Go
There we-
behind, there you go. Next page.
got it.
There you go. There they're listed.
Got it, exhibit A, not the agreement. Thank you very much.
Okay, in August. Okay, and I would assume rules will be pretty much the same as we had before
yes, ma'am.
for the other,
Yes.
applying and time and all of those things would be the same. Okay,
Judy.
any other comments, questions?
We might just talk to the building official as if somebody's demoing their parking lot. We may have to add a provision there. If you're doing X, then it can't be, for a 60-day, 90-day window to, demo your entire parking lot and just leave it in that condition. Most of the stuff that's done on the other exterior enhancement is cosmetic in nature. It doesn't matter. But if there's some functional pieces to it, we might put some barriers on there, reasonable barriers, but,
Okay. Anything else anybody can think of that might, that we might want to know about? All right, so when do you think we'll open?
This will need to go to council, so it won't make it to council probably it'll probably be first one in June.
we might could get it on the next one,
I
the
wasn't gonna push.
26th.
I was gonna let you make that decision.
Yes. We'll try and get it on the 26th. Worst case, it's on the agenda for the 9th of June.
Okay.
And then, not long after that, we'll get it out.
Because we can have the application on the back side up and ready, kind of as we did with the exterior enhancement. And then once it's approved by city council, then we can make it live and send out a press release.
Yeah, by the 10th, basically. of
Okay.
June, latest.
All right, are we good with that, everybody? Okey doke. Let's move on then to 4B, the restroom.
Yes, so coming out of the TIRZ project list, one of the top items that y'all discussed was renovating and restoring the public restroom on Water Street. Parks and Rec over.
Y'all didn't vote on that one.
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, that's right, thank you. Okay, let me back up. So we need a motion for 4A, approval of the parking lot grant program and funding in an amount not to exceed $50,000 for fiscal year 25-26. So I'll make the motion. We have a second. All in favor?
All right.
Okay, very good. All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, now we're ready for the restrooms.
So the public restrooms, which are on Water Street, up there in the alcove where the Arcadia is. We had a couple of team meetings in public restrooms, which is always fun to discuss and look at what's needed to be updated. And so the Parks Department has went out and received a bid under $5,000. From one of their vendors, and so they're looking at taking up the vinyl flooring because that does cause some issues, and doing epoxy flooring, changing out a couple of the fixtures, fixing any of the toilets or sinks that have been broken, replacing changing stations and dividers, and then any paint touch-up that is needed. And we are at $4,800, so I am looking for y'all's approval for the Parks Department to be able to move forward with this vendor to do renovations for the restroom, not to exceed $5,000.
And I know this is not directly related to this, but is the Arcadia responsible for cleaning?
They are responsible for cleaning, and we have had very extensive conversations about once we invest in the restoration of the restrooms, we really need the cleaning service to do some good due diligence and keeping up with it.
It does. That's
Yes.
part of it is just a smell, and I think switching the flooring will make a big difference. That's
Yeah.
where some of that smell stays.
That was one of the things Ethan and I had discussed, that the vinyl flooring
Yeah,
is an
that's
issue
not good.
because whenever liquid gets under it, it definitely causes issues, and a smell comes with that too, an odor.
What specifically are they, just like a couple bullet points, or what are they doing, the flooring?
Yeah, epoxy flooring. So they'll rip off the current vinyl. They'll do epoxy flooring. They're going to change all the fixtures in the men's and women's restrooms, on toilets, urinals, and sinks, replacing fans, changing stations, dividers, and painting, and doing touch-up painting.
Any painting? Any need to paint?
Yes, they do need to do a little bit of painting.
Not gonna paint the whole thing though?
I'm not too sure if it says paint portions needed to color desired. So I'm guessing if you're changing the coloring, they'll paint the portions that are needed.
Should we heed Michael's advice and we don't know until we know?
What do you mean?
More than 5,000? Could
If you
it go
go-
beyond that?
If
No,
we
this
go
is a
out to
quote.
5,000, then we would have to go out for 3 bids, and that would extend it past July 4th.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is the cost.
And,
So-
and you have a satisfactory bid at $4,800
Yes, sir.
with no overruns.
No.
Okay.
Probably not with that. And this is somebody they've worked with.
Yes. Sorry, that bid did not come in until earlier this week. But I was very adamant it had to stay under 5,000.
Another curiosity question.
Yes, ma'am.
It is open all night, the restrooms are they not?
It's supposed to be closed, locked at a certain time. I can't remember if it's 6 or 7, but there have been issues where it's been blocked and not being able to be locked. And so I think that is also a discussion that we are having with the Arcadia, of making sure that it is locked so that there's no surprises in the restrooms in the morning.
There, has anybody considered putting a security camera outside of the restroom so that they can monitor activity coming in and out?
No, actually, I don't think that there is a security camera down there, not that I'm aware of, but
Would that be helpful
might be-
possibly for just, I don't know what our situation is in Kerrville anymore with homeless people or, if that's an issue,
yes. Mm-hmm.
teenagers or whatever,
Yeah.
But I don't think, at least, I say my understanding, there really hasn't been problems with issues, or there haven't been issues with, I guess, people so much. I think it's just been the condition of the restroom.
I think, yeah, I think it depends on who you speak with, because I know that there has been concern about finding the transient population in there sometimes, especially whenever it gets colder.
Yes.
Well, and broken sinks and toilets sound like misuse.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is all public restrooms that we have in all of our park systems are subject to this. And vandalism's our biggest problem, in cases. And in some cases where it's been bad enough, we've had to put security cameras out, for that very purpose. This hasn't been as much, it's not vandalism, I think there's some wear and tear. There's a little bit, but it's not, like in Carver Park, I think we had $30,000 worth of damage, over 4 or 5 different episodes. And then that becomes prohibitive. At that point, we have to start talking about different discussions. So this, I think, it's a function of the transient population, right? They're going and clean, 3 times a week, something like that. And it'll look good for a hot minute, but it doesn't take long, and you're not manning it constantly. And so I guess it's a lot for the Arcadia to have to handle. And this I'm interested to see how well we can make it look, how long they can keep it in that condition, pristine condition. It sucks that people don't just want to respect what's out there.
Do we know, do they have a cleaning company that they use, or on the
Yes.
inside, or is this?
They have a company that they outsource with. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see us try something. And some of these things are the things that I think we need to do. And it's been probably, forever that anything was done in there. So,
My next question is, how soon can it be done? Can it be done before the Smithsonian comes?
I don't know if it can be done because the Smithsonian starts this weekend. We gave them the July 4th deadline, so I believe that they are planning on Mr. Dominguez starting sometime in June as soon as this is approved.
Yeah, we asked for prior to 4th of July.
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Is the cleaning company that works with the Arcadia, are they currently cleaning that restroom right now? Or is this like, they're gonna start doing that?
No, I imagine they're currently doing.
Yeah, they said that
They're
they
under
clean
contract to do it.
Thursdays and Monday mornings is that cleaning schedule. But we've had some extensive conversations asking them to discuss some of the expectations with that cleaning company.
Well, and my other question is, gosh, twice a week seems kind of skimpy for a public restroom that has a lot of trash accumulation and people don't respect what they don't see people respecting,
We can have that conversation with them also if they might consider increasing the number of times that
Yes.
it's cleaned.
Or at least have somebody from Arcadia come over and empty the trash, and just so that it doesn't look unkept.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little more often, if that could be a possibility,
Okay.
would be good.
Definitely.
So, but we have some sort of agreement with them. That's
Yeah, that's part of the management agreement
yes.
for the facility, and it includes that in there.
All right. Well, are we ready to make a decision and vote?
Sure.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve item 4B on the agenda. Do I need to read it out?
Probably.
Approve the funding to restore the public restroom located at Water Street not to exceed $5,000.
I'll
Second.
second that.
We have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Sue, did you vote?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I
did,
didn't
yeah,
see you.
sorry.
Okay. All right, and it passes unanimously. All right, very good. Okay. All right, as far as I know, we have nothing for executive session. Kelly? Michael? Okay. I would like to recognize Crystal. And she was sworn in last night, right here in this room. And so she will not be a voting member or a sitting member, but I believe she is going to be the liaison from council. Am I correct?
Good answer.
We will sort all that out. Yeah, there's,
All right. If we can put in a good word, tell them we'd like her. So she's
Yes, ma'am.
had a little experience, so that'd be great. And thank you for coming today, Crystal, and congratulations on your new position. So that's great. And Kelly, the parking lot behind Windstream, anything on that parking lot?
We have had, there has been a lot of discussion about it. I believe Windstream just recently, as in the last couple of months, was bought out by another national company. And so I think we'll need to figure out who that company is, have some discussions about what does that look like, because the majority of that parking lot is owned by Windstream or whomever just bought Windstream. There are a couple of sections closer to the backside of the businesses on Earl Garrett, and it's kind of a little funky of who owns which section. I've had a lot of conversations with people, with different business owners, about the asphalt and the different timing of the trash trucks and kind of what that's doing to how it's degrading the parking lot. I'm dubbing it Trash Wars of Kerrville right now. And so it's definitely a conversation. Michael and I and Drew with Development Services have discussed, what the potential is for next steps for that. So figuring out who bought Windstream would be
Okay.
the first step.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
All
a
right.
pothole behind
Right.
that, in that corner where they make that turn,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, gosh,
Yeah.
huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's an issue.
All right, that's good to know there's at least conversations going on. All right. Okay, our next meeting, if I am correct, will be July 8th at 3 o'clock, Wednesday. Does that sound right? Okay, very good. So thank you all for being here today. And
Mayor, Judy.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Forget the,
You're good, you're good. Unexpected item.
okay.
Not an item for a future agenda, but the next time that you all see Kelly Hagemeyer, Kelly will not be helping you all out here at the TIRZ board because Kelly is moving on to a role with the long-term recovery group. She has accepted a position as program manager, is that right? Project manager? Yeah, with the long-term recovery group. And this has been a long, thoughtful process for Kelly, and it sucks for us, and we hate to see her go. And I've cursed everyone
Yes.
over at the long-term recovery group. But she feels call and a passion to that work, and so we're excited for Kelly's journey on that. And she gave me enough notice so I can hire her back.
I was gonna say, you didn't ask us if
She
you
didn't
could go.
ask y'all. Yeah, see, nobody's going to appreciate this. We all think,
Congratulations.
Yes,
there you go.
so,
Kelly has been and I can't even say how. Kelly has done all this with y'all, done all this with the Cultural Arts District Board, working with the Long-Term Recovery Group on any number of projects that we've been working on. She's helping us with EDA grant filings and all this. It's been a monumental help. It's a huge loss for us. And we do wish her all the best. And we have a job posting out there right now for a new economic development manager. We'll see what we can find.
But you're going to be around, so you're
I
not
will be
leaving. That's
around.
good. That's good. All right.
I'm gonna bug her even more now.
So,
So y'all might be stuck with me for a little bit. Hopefully not for too long.
Is there
I'll say.
going to be like a
Mr. Bond.
3-month transition training?
Unofficially, probably. We had a long meeting today about all the different projects, but he's in good hands.
They asked me if, Kelly, she can always come help, and I said, no, you just cut it off, we'll figure it out, we're gonna have to do that in most cases, so we'll be fine.
all right.
Certainly a little less off, but, I'm gonna make sure everybody's compliant on your grants. We'll probably have shorter conversations than they expect to have, but they'll be all right.
All right. Good.
Yeah, we'll get
Good.
their parking lots painted and their signs up and everything looking pretty.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
super.
I'll make a lot of friends, I promise. I'll play nice in the sandbox. I will.
If you don't, we'll make sure you do. So.
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right. Well, best of luck, Kelly.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, and thank you for what you've done for us. So, all right. We did not have a finance report today, and I knew that ahead of time. So, we'll get that next time. So, okay. Anything for the good of the cause from anybody? All right then. At 4:02, we will close this meeting. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you.